The virtual reality game Infinite Dendrogram was released online around the world, and after its release, a young man named Reiji, who seems obsessed with this type of game, spent his money to buy a helmet that allows him to dive into the world of the game with full consciousness. Then he lay down on his bed and put on the helmet to go on a journey to the world of Infinite Dendrogram, and within seconds he found himself standing in a library containing a large number of books, and strangely enough, his shabby and ridiculous appearance did not change after moving inside the game. Then he was surprised by a white cat named Cheshire who sat in front of him and welcomed him, then told him that she was just an artificial intelligence set up for surveillance and asked him to choose an introductory name for him in the game, and instead of using his big head to think of a distinctive name, Reiji decided to use the meaning of his name in English. Then she asked him to choose his appearance and equipment for an avatar, so he kept his disgusting appearance and changed his hair color to blonde to make it even worse than before. After he finished redesigning himself in the game, Cheshire gave him a bag to store things in, as well as initial travel expenses. He then found a bright light approaching his hand, and she told him that this was his embryo, which could be removed once it hatched in its first form, and would then undergo a completely different evolution, so that he could match it personally. Then she began to explain to him the game environment, the types of monsters and the different tools he would need, and that there are some rare and advanced types, and before he started playing the game, she asked him to choose his nationality in the game, and he chose to belong to the Tar Kingdom. When he asked what goal he should work on, she answered him that he can do anything he likes, whether he decides to become a hero, villain, or king, and he is free to just sit and do nothing as usual, as he will embark on a journey full of endless possibilities. Suddenly, she sent him to Altea, the capital of the Tar Kingdom, and he found himself falling from the highest height in space until he hit the ground, and when he regained consciousness, he felt relieved that he was not dead and began to feel everything around him as if it were real. When he passed through the gate inside the capital of Alter, he couldn't believe that all this is inside a virtual reality game and started to check the map where he was supposed to meet his brother near the big fountain. But while walking, a blonde girl bumped into him and broke his arms. The girl approached him and used her abilities to heal him. When he regained consciousness and asked her why she was rushing, she told him that she was looking for her younger sister, and when she made him look at her picture, he told her that he had just arrived here. She wrote her details on a piece of paper, gave it to him, and asked him to call her if he saw her sister around and left quickly. Reiji was surprised that he could read the paper despite the language difference, and found that the girl's name was Liliana, and she was a knight of the Alter Royal Guard. Then the box appeared in front of him to accept the mission to search for the lost girl named Milian. And then he was surprised that they are one of the non-player characters, and when he found that the mission is level 5, he hesitated to accept a mission of such difficulty and preferred to consult his brother before making a decision. After arriving at the large fountain, he found a man in a bear suit holding a sign saying, "Hello brother," and the children crowded around him, so he approached him and asked him if he was his older brother, and he nodded in the affirmative and gave the children some candy before saying goodbye to them. When they were alone, he told him that his in-game name was Shu and suggested that they take a tour of the city. Reiji asked him about Liliana, and he told him that she was the most popular character in the kingdom and that she had a fan club. Reiji wondered that non-player characters have fan clubs, and those people can join fan clubs too. Shu said that for some reason, non-player characters have abilities and personalities similar to humans. Reiji wondered how a level 0 player like him could get a mission from a famous character, to which Shu replied that this world has countless missions because it is very similar to the real world and there are no requirements for any of the missions. When Shu wondered about the details of the mission, Reiji gave him the paper that Liliana left to communicate with her, and Shu noticed that she wrote a note to her sister on the back of the paper stating that she had gone to buy what was missing from their store before Milian disappeared. When they found that Liliana had mentioned something about insect repellent, Shu told him that this was a bad omen, as it meant that Liliana had gone to the old woman's grove outside the capital, and what makes this place dangerous is that over time it has become the lair of a huge monster. Then he thought that maybe Liliana's mission is one that must be completed in a certain amount of time, and there is no guarantee that it will end safely, and when an NPC dies, their death is final and irreversible. He told him that they have lost many heroes and sages as well as the Tar King, and although Reiji realizes that everyone around them is not real, he felt bad for Milian and decided to embark on the mission and save her with Shu's help, so he decided to go on the mission. When they arrived at the grove, Shu gave him some materials to boost his skills as a beginner to save his life in case he was in danger of dying, and then invited him to join his group of friends in the game, so that he could follow his progress and provide him with the necessary support. When Reiji inquired about the in-game death penalty, he found that he would be banned from logging in for 24 hours in real time, which means 72 hours in game time, meaning he would not be able to play for 3 days. So Reiji decided to follow his brother to make sure he completed the mission. Meanwhile, Liliana was fighting off a large group of bug monsters alone to protect Milian, but their numbers kept growing no matter how many she crushed until they were completely surrounded, and she realized that this way she wouldn't be able to keep her sister safe. Shu intervenes and fires a volley of bullets with the machine gun he seems to have stolen from Jinx, successfully wiping out all the monsters in the area around them and saving the 2 girls. And Liliana is surprised to see Reiji with him. Liliana then expresses her gratitude to them for helping to save her little sister, causing Reiji to blush as if he were the girl, and tells them that they must get out of this place before they are attacked again, whereupon he is surprised that they have joined his team with Shu. To his surprise, he realizes that Liliana is level 210, making him feel like a bug compared to her, and Shu tells him that the mission is not over yet even though they saved the 2 girls and joined the team, which means that this mission has a higher difficulty level than expected because Liliana is part of it. Unfortunately, Shu ran out of bullets when he attacked, and they ended up surrounded by 2 of the same type of monsters. However, Shu gathered his strength and stood in front of the monsters to confront them, telling them that they were no match for him. But when he used his power, he was surprised by the emergence of 2 more monsters and ended up facing 4 monsters alone, one of which immobilized him before he could attack and then dragged him down.